Hey there, and welcome back to the Empowered Parenting Podcast. I'm your host, Kelli Selzer, certified parenting coach, mom of five, and someone who knows firsthand how the past can sneak into the present. Parenting is hard, but I can help with that. Today's episode is called Healing the Past, A Path to Present Peace. We're going to explore how the emotional patterns from our own childhood shape the way we show up as parents, and how we can start to gently shift those patterns, one breath, one choice at a time. This is tender work, brave work, and if you're listening, I already know you're the kind of person who's ready to do it. Have you ever caught yourself saying something to your child and immediately thought, oh no, that sounded just like my mom? Or, that's exactly what my dad used to say, and I swore I wouldn't. Yep, you're not alone. The truth is, most of us are carrying emotional blueprints we didn't consciously choose. They're patterns, habits of reactivity, language, body language, even silence, that were modeled for us from the very beginning. And those patterns live deep in our nervous systems. They're not a sign that something's wrong with you. They're a sign that you're human. Patterned doesn't mean broken. It just means familiar. Let me tell you about a moment when this hit me hard. I was talking with my oldest son, who was at the time 14, and I was telling him as I was going through this coaching program that while I had done everything to the best of my ability when he was little, I was beginning to learn that maybe they weren't actually the best way to do things. And he told me, yeah, I wish you'd never told me not to cry. And that hit me hard. And I was like, wow, that really affected him. I think I had grown out of saying that at that point, but, I had done it for so long when he was little that he still remembered. But in that moment, I really had a choice, and I decided to apologize and let him know that I was growing as a parent. And I think that made us a little closer that day. So one of the most powerful steps in healing is simply naming what you've been carrying. So let's pause, take a breath, and ask a few gentle questions. How were emotions handled in the home you grew up in? Was it safe to be sad, angry, or excited? Did your caregivers model connection or control, curiosity or correction? Sometimes just asking these questions can bring up big feelings, and that's okay. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't even need to have a clear memory, just awareness, a thread to start following. And here's something important. Understanding your childhood is not about blaming your parents. It's about freeing yourself. You can honor where you came from and still choose a different way forward. So, what do we do with this awareness? We start small. We shift gently. Healing old patterns doesn't mean flipping a switch. It means noticing, pausing, and making one intentional choice at a time. Some of my favorite tools are a simple pause phrase. I need a second to find my calm. Naming the feeling before reacting. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need to reset. Replacing old scripts with your values. Instead of stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about, try I see you're upset. I'm here. So with a new baby, I have been trying to tell her or ask her really, what's going on? What is wrong? Instead of saying, oh, stop crying. It's okay. Both of them come from a place of wanting her to feel better. But one is telling her that how she feels is making me uncomfortable. And the other one is saying, I'm here for you. And I want to know what's wrong. Now, she's an infant and she doesn't understand me, but I think this is good practice for me as a parent to start with an infant and kind of create my habits. And then I can play them out as she gets older, and I can also play them with my older kids who really respond positively when I say things like, "Well, tell me more about that," or "That's okay to feel that way. It makes sense." So it's good all around. It wasn't perfect, but it's different. And that's what healing looks like. Here's the thing. You're not just parenting your child. You're reparenting yourself. And that is sacred work. There's going to be grief. There's going to be mess. And there's also going to be growth and joy and so many tiny moments of triumph you might miss if you're only looking for the big ones. You're doing this right now, every time you pause, breathe, reflect, repair. You're changing the story. Let me leave you with something to reflect on. What's one pattern I'm ready to gently release? And what kind of story do I want to write in its place? If this episode resonates with you, I'd love for you to share it with a fellow parent. Subscribe, leave a review, and come connect with me over at kellyselzer.com for more resources, support, and ways to work together. You are not alone. You are not behind. And you are already doing so much better than you think. Parenting is hard, but I can help with that.